I always have to double check and make sure we live in these streets. Okay, it looks that way. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's bubbles. Okay, make sure we up here in these streets. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, let's see what we got going over here. All right, we in this thing. All right. Then I always have to double check. Welcome to the Ricky Reset. My name is Andrea Fitzgerald, and I'm going to be your host this evening. Now, you may be wondering, what the heck is a Ricky Reset? Well, guys, it would be evenings just like this, except your girl would be stressed the hell out because I could not manage my classroom. Quite frankly, I couldn't figure out this whole teaching thing. So, what we do each week, we come here on the Ricky Reset and provide you with practical tools, tips, and strategies to help you stay in the game. Because oftentimes, new teachers quit too soon because they're just not getting the support they need. So I am the professional learning. I am the PD that you need. So listen, you say you need some support. I got you. Meet me every Tuesday, somewhere in between 5:15 and 5:45. Like y'all already know, that's my consistency. I ain't even about to sit here and pretend like I'm gonna be here at 5:15 every week. It's somewhere in that range. I'll be there. That's my consistency. All right. So today, friends, we are going to talk about, hold on, wait a minute. Did the internet just shut down? Wait a minute. Okay, yes, we back in here. All right. So today, friends, we are going to talk about managing the new teacher meltdown. That's right, managing that new teacher meltdown. So I was thinking about this last week. I talked about I talked about how to reset your class after a break. And as a new teacher, I'm gonna be honest. It was just very hard for me. And I imagine as a new teacher, I imagine if you have been selected as a new teacher, I am certain that you've probably been successful with just about everything you've done. And teaching that first year, it was just not like that. I would be putting in max effort and wouldn't be seeing results. And so therefore I convinced myself, I said, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not built for this. And the meltdown of meltdowns that got me was the day that I called inside of my own classroom. Hold on a second, y'all. We got a new dog. So hold on a second. My dog want their toy. Hold on. Here we go. I got you, Pudding. Let's go. I got you, Pudding. Okay. So, yes, you ask yourself, you say, what the heck am I doing in this profession? Maybe I can't do this. But the meltdown for me was the day that I called inside of my own classroom. And I literally was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? This is so hard. I don't think I can do it. I literally thought I really felt like I could not do it. And so I want you to know that all of this is normal. That's the first thing I want to tell you. This is normal. This is absolutely normal. You are going to doubt yourself, especially when you're embracing something new. Because I think the thing for me was that my teacher just I was used to teaching, get on the board, you sit at your desk, you sit and you listen. That's what I thought I was gonna do. It's a whole lot more into that than just those things. So we're gonna talk a little bit about how to overcome and manage those meltdowns. So let's start off with the first thing is to give yourself permission to be messy. That's right. Give yourself opportunity to botch it, mess it up, stink it up. That's okay. Because something you want to keep in mind is that growth is messy. I think sometimes in our society that we have the idea that when we are learning something new, that it's going to be a linear process. Becoming a new teacher is not like that. It really isn't. And you're going to mess up. It's not a matter of if, it's when. When is it going to happen? And so the thing that I often tell new teachers is that the L's are what make you a great teacher. You're gonna botch it, and really, I think we have to keep in mind. Think about as a baby. A baby, they fall 1,000 times and they still keep getting back up. They don't stop because it's like, oh my gosh, this is hard. They keep getting up because they know that they're meant to walk. And I want to tell you guys, new teachers, you're meant to be a great teacher. You're meant to walk in this thing. So just keep getting back up. The L's are a part of the game. People don't tell us that. Like they don't tell us that you're gonna mess up. It's gonna happen. And that is what's gonna help you become a great teacher. The losses. Like, who knew that you use Power School? Who knew that you really ask the kids that you go into Power School to get a phone number instead of asking the kid? I didn't know that. But that's literally how I learned from the mistakes I made. So understand that the process may go like this. You're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days. It's not gonna be perfect. And that's okay. It's a part of the teaching game. So give yourself permission to be messy. Number two, this is the one I've been on this one hard since I've been in therapy. It's so interesting. I read this, I wrote my words that wrote in my book. I said, dang, I said, yes, that's so true. But number two is breathe and feel your feelings. I think that as a society I know for me, I'm very action oriented. So when I see a challenge or something that I recognize that I'm doing, I just want to get right to how I'm gonna fix it. But what I'm learning as I've been in therapy consistently for the past 2 years is that feelings are just information. They tell you a lot if you listen to them. Now, I know the uncomfortable ones are not so great. So sometimes we just want to avoid them. It's like, oh my gosh, why is it so hard? I can think back to when I was a new teacher and I just could not believe that this was this hard. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, it seemed like everybody else got this all figured out and I'm over here on the struggle bus. And I felt some shame about that because I was struggling. I couldn't get kids to be quiet when I talked. I was screaming every day. And no one tells us that it's that hard, right? So I think that giving yourself space to feel and feel your feelings, is nothing wrong with having feelings about it. It's okay. But just give yourself the space to hold space for how you feel. A good therapist is always, a good therapist always can give you better tools or not even better, but even provide you with potential tools to help you navigate through that. But give yourself the space to feel. It's frustrating. I'm tired. I'm burnt out, whatever it is, because the more that we ignore it, like we can't do anything about it. It's always the quote that says, we can't change what we won't name. So just feel your feelings. Nothing wrong with it. You're sad, you're frustrated, you're happy, whatever it is. You give yourself the space to feel. All right. So number 3 is ask for help. So something that an article that I read said that the thing about new teachers, they need two things. They need professional and mental support, like emotional support. That's what they said. Because oftentimes, like I can see when I have worked with new teachers or I'm in schools and stuff like that, that sometimes that what will happen is that new teachers will feel so overwhelmed because they have all these competing priorities, right? They're like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And we're giving them the physical tasks that they need, but they also need that emotional support. You need someone to be like, okay, I'm having a whole meltdown out here. I don't understand. I remember me and Miss Malone sitting down with one of the sped teachers because we was like, yo, like we can't get the people to be quiet. Like we can't figure and he told us to go watch the teacher next door and he gave us some pointers and some tips and stuff like that. But listen, we was on a struggle bus in that thing. Um, I had a point I was going with that. But yeah, you gotta have both, right? Professionally, give you the things, but also get that mental and emotional support as well. Like you've got to have that as a new teacher. That can help you navigate the meltdown. Versus you struggling alone, get the help you need. I talk about in my self-care speech, I talk about that it was a season that I was depressed, y'all, for about 6 months. I had no clue. I was just out here. I was just like, I just kept shaming myself because I didn't have the energy to get out of bed to go to work. I wasn't able to push like I normally do in my business. Like I was just having a really tough time. And I struggled with that for 6 months all by myself because I didn't talk to anybody. I was just trying to figure it out. It's like, oh, what's wrong with you? Stuff like that. And I wasn't telling anybody. I was struggling. So get the help you need, guys. burnout is real out here in these streets. I keep a good therapist on my executive team because Lord knows I'm crazy as hell, y'all. I got to have somebody to be like, girl, what you doing out here? Listen, a coach, a therapist, I keep those regularly on my team because I know I need the accountability. I need someone to push me in my thinking and just provide tools to help me deal with the emotion. And that's why I go to therapy consistently because I know I can be very like logical, I guess sometimes. And it forces me to deal with my uncomfortable emotions. So, yes, get the help you need. And also another way to get some help, if you're like, oh my gosh, it's not therapy. I need some professional support. Mentors, coaches. Listen, I will say it over and over till the cows come home. I don't know who I would be. Like, I'm not even talking to you without Tamika Dickinson, Judy Holmes, and Kenya Reed. There is no mental fitness. There is no Ricky's playbook without those three. They taught me how to teach. They were so supportive. They said, oh no, Fitzgerald, you can't do that. Oh, yeah, okay, let's try this. But listen, mentors change the game for you. Because I often tell people, they say, there's a study that says the first 7 years of our life are the most important because they set the stage for the remainder of our lives. I think the same is true for you as a rookie teacher because you kind of like that's the first 7 years of your experience. Those first couple years are critical because you develop great habits. They helped me develop great habits. They gave me the help that I needed. They supported me. But a mentor, a coach, Miss Holmes, like I told y'all, I didn't know the kids could be quiet when you talked. And as a teacher, once I saw her do it, I was like, oh, I see what she's doing. Let me see if I can try that. But I was struggling because I couldn't get through my lessons because I was screaming and yelling. I was struggling. And I saw her do it. I was like, oh, that's how I do that. So, this is the deal, guys. Like, get the help you need. Ask for help. It is not meaning things wrong with you. It's just, hey, I need some support here. I need some help. That's okay. And the last thing I'd say is connect with other first year teachers. Gosh, I think that's why me and Miss Malone was so tight. We was on the struggle bus together. Struggling, baby. Didn't know what was going on. Listen, we leading each other, don't know what we doing. You know what I'm saying? But that first year, it's like trial by fire, man. It's like going in there, going through a really challenging experience together. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're doing is you're realizing that you're less alone. You're realizing that you're less alone. And I think that that's one thing I love about group coaching that has always been helpful for me is that a few years ago, so I'll give you a prime example. A few years ago, I was in relationship school. And I mean, gosh, like intimacy, emotional connection, stuff like that. Like I just think about where I was 4 years ago. I've grown a lot since then. But then, I mean, gosh, I was really struggling, y'all. And what I really loved about that that program was that I felt less alone. It was other people who were having similar challenges as I was. Yeah, it's not a gremlin, it's my dog. He wants to play. But yeah, it was something about connecting with other people who were in the same that were having similar experiences as me that reminded me like, well, shoot, if they are working through this, certainly I can. So, connect with other first year teachers that are having similar challenges, or even just it's just their first year, just to talk through it. I'm thinking about this, thinking about that. This is where I'm having challenges. This is what's going well for me. And some people are crushing it out here. You can get ideas from them. So, connecting with other people that are in a similar experience is always helpful. So, just to recap, when we talk about having a meltdown, you're saying, what the heck am I doing? Am I in the right profession? I want to remind you that you are. But here's a couple things to remember. Number one, breathe and feel your feelings. I'm gonna back up. So number one, first, give yourself permission to be messy. You're gonna mess up, guys. L's are what make great teachers. They don't tell you that, but they do. The next thing is breathe and feel your feelings. Feelings is just information. And feelings are required. We're human beings. We're not human doings. We're human beings. You need time to process your feelings. It's a lot of information that can help you, and really think about what you're dealing with. Next is ask for help, whether it be a therapist, a mentor, a coach, somebody to support you through this new teacher process. And lastly, and also another way to ask for help is like a professional development. That's another way to develop yourself. And then the last one is connect with other first year teachers. You do not have to do this alone. There are other new teachers and similar experiences that can help you through this. So I want to close out as we talk about meltdowns, because meltdowns, that's all that is, feelings and emotion. Meltdowns, you know, so the other week I had a session with my coach. And it's so interesting. One of the key takeaways was, we can have feelings about things, and it's a lot of stuff underneath there. Like it's a ton of stuff underneath that we are not even accessing. We just out here reacting. We just like, oh my gosh, I'm just having this response. Da, 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 da. But it's a whole lot of stuff on there. And the meltdowns, a lot of times we don't give ourselves permission to experience the meltdown because we're like, oh my gosh, I should know this as a new teacher. Like everyone else has it figured out. I should have it figured out. I want to tell you, new teachers, that's not the case. It's okay not to have it figured out. So give yourself the space and energy to have the meltdown. It's okay, because this is a deal. The meltdowns is us not being okay, being imperfect. Possibly, it's like, oh my gosh, I had this figured out. I should know. Nah, you shouldn't know that. Don't do that to yourself. So, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was in high school, I I I did the triple jump. And I'd never done it. My coach just asked me one day. I ran track just to stay in shape for basketball in college. And so he said, hey, why don't you do the triple jump? Never did it. So I go out there the first week, and I lose. I don't even have on the right sneakers. And I think I jumped like 30 something, 33, maybe something like that. But anyways, so I lose. And they tell me the adjustment. They say, hey, you're gonna have to have some different shoes if you want to jump further. The next time I think I jumped 3 feet further. Because I made some adjustments, but I still lose to the same person, y'all. So now I'm getting mad. I'm like, man, I lost this girl 2 times. Well, we have to jump again. I lose to the same person again. And we have to jump to go to the state. I lose to the same person again. So right before I go to state, my aunt, we go to the school park, and she was a triple jump conference champion. So she taught me how to she helped me make some adjustments. She's like, okay, you jumping up, you really need to jump out. She kind of trained me for like one session. I go to state, I see the same girl who done beat me 4 straight times. It's either 3 or 4 straight times. She beat me again. Well, just so happens that day, she was not having the best day. I win. But in order for me to get to that point where I win the state in the triple jump, become a triple jump champion, I had to have some losses. It was imperative. I lost 4 times before I actually won the state. The same is true for you as a teacher. Losses are inevitable. It's not a matter of if they happen, it's a matter of when. This game, as a new teacher, it can be very messy, guys. It can be very messy. You're going to have some losses, but I know that you're a champion teacher. I know that, but everyone you see around you, administrator, superintendent, principal, assistant principal, all these people, professional learning coaches, instructional facilitators, at one point they were a new teacher. And for them to arrive where they are, they had to take some losses, just like you are taking right now as a new teacher. And so I want to challenge you, and I want to let you know, as a new teacher, when you're having that meltdown and you're saying, what the heck am I doing? That you absolutely can. Losses are a requirement to be a great teacher. The losses are what make you a great teacher. They are, I promise you. You see this book, y'all? You see this? You see this book? I don't know if y'all can see that. But listen, this book doesn't happen if I don't have the losses. This book is to help you with the losses so you don't make some of the mistakes that I made. The losses are what make you great. So keep that in mind. And if you wanna, you're like, you know what, Fitz? I need some more tips. I need some more tips. Go ahead, go to mentalfitness.com/rookies and grab you a copy of the Rookies Playbook, y'all. Grab you a copy. If you know a new teacher, you like, oh my gosh, I need to go ahead, mentalfitness.com/rookies. Grab you a copy of the Rookies Playbook so that you can stay in the teaching game. And I also have some free resources for new teachers. If you need, like, oh my gosh, I got that for you too. So I will drop that link below. Listen, I forgot the link. I think it's bit.ly. I can't even think of it. You know, I should know the reason. I should know it. I should know it. But listen, I dropped that thing below for you so that you can grab a copy, some free resources for new teachers, you know. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. And as we go out this week, I want you to keep that rookie state of mind. Well, what's that, Fitz? Remember, the level up is in the losses. Problems are a privilege. And yes, you might be new to this, but I know you're true to this because you're in this moment right now. And I believe in each one of you. So get out there this week and do those rookie reset push-ups. I believe in each one of y'all, y'all. The meltdown is inevitable, but y'all got this. I believe in you. The L's are required to be a winner. And I'm out.